rest of us. So welcome back to the show,
Rest
Anna.
of the crew.
Rest of the crew. So a meeting of the House Financial Services Committee got really awkward yesterday after Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin told committee chairwoman Maxine Waters that he had people to see and places to go. Watch.
So is it possible you could give us another 15 minutes to get to these members?
I have a foreign leader waiting in my office at 5:30. If you'd wish to keep me here so that I don't have my important meeting and continue to grill me, then we can do that. I will cancel my meeting and I will not be back here. I will be very clear if that's the way you'd like to have this relationship.
Thank you. The gentleman, the secretary, has agreed to stay to hear all of the rest of the members.
Okay,
Please
so just
cancel
let's be
your
clear to
meeting
the press.
and respect our time.
What I've told you is I thought it was respectful that you'd let me leave at 5:15.
You are
which
free
is the
to leave
current
anytime you
period of
want.
time.
You may
Okay,
go
well then,
anytime
please,
you want.
Please dismiss everybody. I believe you're supposed to take the gravel and bang it. That's
Please do not instruct me as to how I'm to conduct this committee.
Okay. Wait, did you hear what he said? He said gravel. I think he said, meant to say gavel. He said gravel. I think what he really means is a word he's very familiar with, grovel. So don't screw around with Auntie Maxine. Is that the moral of the story here? Or was she playing him and doing something?
I don't know when people just won't stop and realize that she always has time to teach. You know, I mean, she's been, I guess, a congresswoman for what, 25 years, over 25 years?
Yeah.
And remember when she had that exchange when she kept on saying, I'm reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time? That was with the same person, with Mnuchin. And so I think they've had this sort of back and forth thing going. And now she's actually the chair of the committee. So she's in charge and she's responsible for decorum and just setting the tone. And I just thought it was very disrespectful that he was trying to take the power away from her. And she reminded him, I thought, quite well, that she is the one in power. And I just sort of wonder.
It's a new day, she said.
It's a new day. And I don't want to make it about sexism, but I just wonder if he would have treated a man in the same way. I did wonder that.
It's funny, when I think about decorum and inspiration and bringing the country together, Maxine Waters is not who I think of for that.
Maxine Waters is what?
It's not the person that I think of for that. And I'm not a fan of Mnuchin either, to be clear. But you remember, she said recently, if you see anybody from the Trump cabinet in a restaurant, a department store, a gas station, you get out, you create a crowd, you push back on them, and you tell them they are not welcome anymore, anywhere. How is that supposed to bring us together as people? So if you see General Mattis, who's no longer there, but at this time, at the restaurant table next to you, you tell him that he's not welcome here, you get out, a man who served this country?
I honestly...
I don't think that rhetoric is making us better people.
I see her as a symbol of decorum. I see her as a woman that is very strong. I see her as a woman that has served in Congress for over 25 years. And I also see her as a symbol of the civil rights movement. I think she has served our country honorably.
When I watched that exchange, and by the way, she watched the full exchange to really get a sense of what's going on. If you're hating politics right now and you feel like no one is speaking for you and you're not represented and you're frustrated and we're divided, that exchange was exactly why I feel the way that I do right now.
Why is he in a hurry? Why was he in a hurry? Remember that Hillary Clinton sat for what? 11 hours without one glitch. Now, all of a sudden, this guy's in a hurry to get out of there?
Maybe Hillary Clinton had better bladder control. Look. A few things. First of all, let's also remember some of the things that Donald Trump has called Maxine Waters, which have been awful. He's called her dumb. He's called her low IQ.
Yeah.
He has been incredibly offensive towards Maxine Waters. So, and to me, I hold him to a higher standard, stupidly, than I do anybody else, including ourselves, because I think leadership comes from the top. That being said, we are a, constitutional democracy. These are co-equal branches of government, and they've got to learn how to get along and how to have some level of decorum. It's been deteriorating. Last week, we saw people boo Congresswoman Debbie Dingell when she was on the floor making a statement. We have seen the contentiousness between Sean Duffy, the Republican, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Men and women. You're right. It has something to do with
And I
sex.
think it does lead to the cynicism of people feeling that there is complete, absolute dysfunction and breakdown of Washington.
And if you don't agree with me, then you're somehow stupid. You're somehow less of a human being.
Yeah, but the guy who says that the most is Donald Trump.
No one disagrees with that at this table, and he is bullied and abused pretty much everybody at this point, right? That's not, I don't think we should look to the president as like our threshold of how we should be living our lives,
I do.
and how we should be speaking
I
to
will
people.
never let him off that threshold.
Because
I think
he's
that
not gonna
when you
change.
are, well, I'm not going to change either. And I'm not going to accept that the President of the United States continues to behave like a bully and a 10-year-old immature
I think he should
man
inspire.
baby.
I think he should inspire us then.
Well,
to
he
be
ain't
better
inspiring me
people,
to do anything.
because that is the exact opposite of how I hope to live my
Well,
life.
I'll tell you, he inspires me to call him out every time he does this.
Megan, you have some time. You want to say
Oh,
something?
thank you. Well, I was just actually interested in listening to what everyone has to say. I agree with Abby that depending on the prism in which you view politics, or I think you made that point as well, Anna, you're taking a victory lap. If you're a fan of Maxine Waters, you take a victory lap. If you're a fan of the Trump administration, you take a victory lap. I think it moves the needle no place, and I think it's a horrible place we are in society. I think we all try and hold ourselves to a different standard than President Trump. I understand your anger. I certainly share the anger about the way that President Trump conducts himself. I don't agree with the idea that if you see someone who you disagree with in a restaurant, that you should go up to them and surround them. It just seems dangerous on top of everything else. I will say that there was a time in this country when Ronald Reagan was shot, and Tip O'Neill, who was the Speaker of the House, went to his hospital bed and prayed with him. Tip O'Neill was a Democrat. I yearn for that time in this country. I yearn for that time in our culture. I yearn for that time in television. And I can only do my best, and God knows I screw up too, but I hope that we can move past this, and this isn't the threshold that we have hit, that there's no coming back from.
But I think it's really interesting that we're talking about things that didn't happen at the meeting, at the hearing. We're talking about things that perhaps Maxine Waters said outside of this hearing. Why don't we talk about what happened at the hearing, which was Mnuchin being disrespectful to the chair of that committee.
All right.
I don't agree
No more.
with-
No more. I have to go. Coming up, Meghan Markle wants a female doctor to deliver her baby, breaking with royal tradition. We'll talk